we have gate 48, which is the well and the gate of depth, which is part of collective logical circuitry hooking up to throat gate 16.
Okay, so if 18 is looking for what has been spoiled, as it finds them, it drips that awareness. Remember, awareness center, and that awareness drips into the well. So if you have a watertight container and you start dripping a drip in it, sooner or later the container fills up. That's what 48 is doing. This, well, it's almost like a cauldron, but it's all collective logical. It's trying to go to the throat. It's trying to get enthusiastic about the depth it's got. But that word depth, it almost doesn't, I mean, just by itself doesn't do it service enough because it's extraordinary depth. 48 ultimately will be the solution-oriented solution maker of almost all things from a great depth of a huge well of knowledge and experience and events it had the good taste and good fortune to bring in the first place. Why this gate is on the cross of tension, I don't know, other than it's wicked tense the rest of the time because it has wants. Gate, I mean, yeah, 48, all the gates of the spleen want something, and they tell us they want something. And so we end up writing books and talking about it and breaking up and getting married and all these things because of these wants. You know, it's good to know them. 48 is just there to be a great well of service. It's supposed to finish the service started in 58.
That's interesting. With the thing you said about the cross of tension with gate 48, I would imagine, because like the fear is not having the depth. The fear is being the fool.
Inadequacy is the name of the fear. It's fear is that of inadequacy, and that inadequacy is just to let you know you might need a little more depth. And the folly of not self trying to be spontaneous in the moment because maybe it's in an open center and it just wants to be spontaneous when no, the spleen is spontaneous. That's its frequency, spontaneously right now only. And 48 then wants to be on spontaneous, but let's say it's in an open center. It needs to govern and recognize when it doesn't have the depth. So if you have a gate 48, don't let people go for the deep button with you and try and make you be deep when you're not ready for it. If it's right for you, you'll go way deep, and out of that depth will come the most crazy solutions that are so profoundly cool that a whole genetic process in gate 16 will pick up and get enthusiastic about that and start manifesting it and speaking it out loud and putting it into the world and trying to share all of that. 48 wants to be so happy it's fueled by 58, right? From at the beginning of this process. That's the fuel moving up through the process. And it wants to not be, only corrective as it relates to stuff that has gone wrong. It wants to see that there's stuff that it has a solution that makes it keep going right. 18 looks for what went wrong, what has been spoiled, what might need some correction and some judgment. And 48 is not in the judgment game. That's 18's job. 48 is simply supposed to be in the excited to find the solutions game. And the thing is, when 48's depth comes out, anyone else who doesn't want that shared with them, that will create tension because this depth isn't meant to stay silent. So it perfectly fits in the cross of tension. 48 will bring tension to the arena, to the realm, if it's acting out its not self. And it will bring tension when it's acting out its true self. It does it both times because the rest of the people aren't necessarily ready for 48's the depth of its solutions.
Well, projected.
Yep.
Projected channel. And the well wants to be drawn from.
It wants, please drink from my well. That's the only way it can share.
Mm-hmm. And it has to be invited. Like someone has to come to the well to like put down the rope and like want it. And so that 48 that wants to share when it's no one's drawing from the well, of course it's bitter.
Yeah, think of how much that can literally get stuck inside, even right down to the bone marrow. Chances are 48 plays a great part in exactly why it takes us all 7 years to decondition. I wouldn't put it there at 44, 32, 28, maybe 18, 48. I would give most of that heavy lifting to as it relates to the center.
Because of depth.
Mm-hmm. That depth, it's a desperate place. It wants to be drunk from. It wants you. It's like a right facing arrows, except the right arrow people don't quite know that. 48 does know it.
That makes sense. The 4816 is also the channel of talent. So that 48
Totally.
wants to go over it and over it and over it and over it and master it to then send it out to the throat in that enthusiastic expression.
Everything about this whole stream from 58 through 18, 48 to 16, it wants to identify with something and gain some kind of mastery over various systems. Let the mastery of systems be the joy that gets looked into, corrected, and then enthusiastically broadcast and shared into fruition. Health and values, the spleen. Let's tie it all up.